Good afternoon, everyone. We are in New York Open, so looking for some opportunities. And we had news release, which was neutral slash positive for the US dollar, being in GDP price index quarterly. We have it as a positive percentage, but neutral for core PCE price index and prelim GDP on quarterly. So this core PCE price index is the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy, so some of the necessities. So when the prices go up, the effect tends to be better because things cost more, businesses make more profits. It's good for the economy. So if steady growth is always good. So I see it, although it's neutral, it's more so positive in my books. It's generally something that stays positive anyway, or neutral, sorry. Prelim GDP is a growth of the economy measured by, again, goods and services. This is a quarterly release, and 2 months after the quarter ends, I believe the news is then released. So positive, well, forecast is the same, but it's a positive growth. So again, it's slightly positive for the dollar. If we now take that to DXY, you can see here that we were predicting or posturing ourselves for the anticipation of price pulling up into this area to be sold. So essentially, we're looking for sales, and we are looking at the area where we think price can go down, which is this order block here, and at the 6-2 level from this range. And that's what's funding the idea. If we go to the USD CAD, we were looking for sales. As you can see here, we have a clear movement to the downside, and we currently are in a pullback in the midst of this order block. So we were looking for sales, but we've had slightly bullish news. Now, with that bullish news, it's not so bullish that it's market changing, market shifting news, because again, it's neutral slash expected. Nothing crazy happened out of the ordinary. So price came up here. So that news release, I think it was a manipulation for price to come to this entry point. Because don't forget, we are bearish overall. When you look at DXY, we do have an overall bearish sentiment on the daily time frame, which I showcased just a second ago, which was that bearish tone. Lower low, swing low taken out by displacement. We've had a continuation. We didn't get a pullback. We had a consolidation, displacement, took out this liquidity. That's a normal reaction. And we're looking for sales. Now, obviously, it is a bit earlier than the area where we're looking at, but the idea is that we're bearish, and it's in line with this idea as well. We've just taken out the liquidity from yesterday, and we marked that there with the green line, and we've come up into this order block. So that's the main reason why I'm kind of bearish here. So this was the yesterday's high. We've now swept it, and now we're looking for bearishness. What's interesting is that we're actually looking for sales here, because we displaced to the downside, taking out this swing low. This daily high was taken out as well. So we've had a repeat of that, which was, now we're going to take out the people that entered sales here. So we have extra liquidity to then fund the ideas for sell side. This was obviously London's range, and London's high is over here. So from this high, I ought to change the color of the on this screen. So that's my sell idea here. So I'm just entering this now. Give me a second. I'll explain afterwards why I entered. posting that in. So, reason why I entered this sell. First of all, the news. One of my entries at 8663. So the reason why I entered, we had this daily high here, which was equal highs, high over here, and we had equal highs which got taken out. Then we had a displacement taking out this swing low, so entry model got triggered. We then had news take price up into our area of interest or area of entry, and we had this range which was OTE. We actually came to the midpoint where there's an order block, so we're going with low hanging fruit, and we had our stop loss set to this 15-minute fair value gap above that initial candlestick. We've added like 1 or 2 pips. So that was our reasoning as to why we got in. Our entry model got triggered. In terms of the daily context, we are bearish. We also tagged into this order block on the bearish, on the daily, time frame. And you can see it's clear market structure, which we haven't had any indication that it's going to be over yet. DXY also has a bearish sentiment, bearish underlying tone. We've been bearish for a while. And you can see here that same kind of shape on USD CAD is here. Lower high, swing low taken out with displacement, continuation. Lower high, swing low taken out by displacement, continuation. It's a similar shape. Now, obviously, the difference is when we get in. So normally I'm very picky with entry, being that in DXY, I'm only entering sells on my main account when price comes up to OTE. But with the scalp account, as long as you have alignment, I'm able to get in. So that's why I entered this trade. Overall target will be down here, but obviously that's very far. That is N1 to 18, which is possible, but realistically, we'll be aiming for a couple of key areas. So I'm going to highlight them. So first of all is the low for the range that we created. It's going to be black lines I'm setting. That's the first area. Second area is the low of the range. This was another range, but the range from this low to this high. So first is the entry range. Second is the swing high on the 1 hour time, swing low, on the 1 hour time frame. Then we have after that point we have the market gap here. But after this, these two I would have come out at least half, and I'll let the rest ride to potentially here, depending on the time or day or whatnot, and it close at the end of the day. So the first take profit area is a 1 to 1.72. Second area is 1 to 5.7, and obviously the 1 to 18. So I'm just gonna set it here for now. This will be my main one, and then of course we have the ones we leave for the end of the day. I was also looking at GBP NZD. Price didn't take that up, so I'm gonna just quickly scan the markets on the 5-minute time frame, see if there's any entry models being triggered. Don't see anything clear, so I'm just gonna hold this, see how this does, and then I'm gonna send alert. Price gets to this area here, and this is a very short stream, but we had very neutral news. When you have neutral news, I tend to see the move as manipulation, because if there's no clear direction of, oh my gosh, we had some life-changing news, then I think it's going to be factored into price. And when news is factored into price, if there is a big move, I see that as manipulation. So this move to the upside, what you notice is at 8:30 market open is towards the opposite direction of the overall trend. Now there is a small short-term bullish trend, which is exactly what we love to see. When we see market breaks, that gives us an idea that market may shift. Why? Because a bullish trend shouldn't show signs of bearishness. This is a sign of bearishness because it takes out multiple swing lows, to the downside with force and speed. You can see displacements, and obviously it's the 3-minute time frame. A larger time frame you can see is a lot cleaner. So we take out a lot of this move with speed movements, big black candles to the downside, opposing that bullish trend. But guess what? The bearish move and idea is in line with the overall sentiment. So with that being said, we are liking this idea. We entered this, that's why we've entered as a sell. We also have DXY, the bearish undertone of the market being bearish as well. And so yeah, we've just entered the sell, and we're just gonna keep monitoring it. And we've set our targets. You never enter a trade without a target. Now you may be thinking, where is my target here? Well, we set it all the way down here, which is our overall target, which obviously is quite far away from where price is at right now. So then why did we still enter this? Because you can take partials. We like to exit trades towards the close of the day, because when you see like to show on this, it's a lot clearer. For example, here you can see let's start from this vertical line. It's a bit hard to see actually. Make it both black. Okay, so here we opened here, we went all the way up here, and we closed here. Look at the difference between the high of this candle and the close of the day. It's quite close, right? Okay, let's go to the next day. Opened here, closed here. Look at the high of the day and the close of the day. Quite close together. We go again. Boom, boom. This one's quite far. This one's quite far. Here, open here, close here, high is close. Same for this. Same for... We'll go backwards because it's not this one, 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 this one, not this one, this one, this one, this one. Stuff from here. This one, 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 this one. So it's about 50-50, but with the concept of power 3, is a general theme that the close of the day is quite close to the low of the day or the high of the day, depending on if you're bearish or not. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah. And I don't think there's much else for us to do from just hold the trade. Also have stuff to do around the house as well, so I actually need to end stream. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. We're back here tomorrow, and go again. Me with CJIC. Last thing actually, yesterday's trade, we ended up closing at 1 to 3.4. We closed. Well, I personally, no, I think I did actually. I closed around here. Half of the trade, which was not 1 to 5. The only reason why I said 1.5 is because that's where I would have exited, but I ended up closing personally a little bit later on. So it was for me probably like a 1 to 2.5, but I just took it as worst case so that people not thinking I'm manipulating, whatever. But anyway, this was 1 to 3.44. Price to go a little bit further down. This is what GPNSD, right? I don't know if I still have the drawings. I don't. But we sold from here to here, basically. I think. Price consolidated. Went down a little bit, but that was from today. So, again, close of the day, end of the day. I mean, lower the day, close of the day, quite close together. That's it from you guys. That's it from me. See how this trade does. It's tagged up into higher areas of the fair value gap. It could continue higher. That's a possibility, but we go with our strategy. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.